everyone. So I was thinking maybe I should make a video to show you how to infuse oil, and I was thinking on it, and then I'm like, you know what, new rule is, if you think about it, don't think about it again, just do it. So here's a quick how-to. Some of you might remember that I harvested some plantain the other day, and that was a few videos back about how to harvest plantain in a way to make it produce more. So now that I've had that harvested for a few days and been letting it air out, I've been letting it wilt, and so you can hear it, listen. It's kind of, it's a little dry. It's not crispy. See, it's still holding together, but it's got a lot of its moisture out of it now, and that's a good thing. So, you ready to learn the super complicated process of infusing oils? Alright, you're going to quart jar, some oil, and your plant matter. Now, you can do this with completely fresh, but if you're new to this, I'd say start with completely dry or like really well wilted for a couple days, because you run the risk of having it mold. So we let it dry really good, or wilt really well for 2 or 3 days until, you know, until you're like, oh, in a couple more days it'll be all the way dry. It is a little stronger when you don't let it dry all the way, the resulting product, infusion, or what have you. Felt weird calling it a product. So plantain is really good for eczema, burns, rashes, bug bites, sunburns, anything skin related that you can think of, plantain is good for. And this is a weed that grows in your yard, not the banana from the store. So basically you just chop this up. I mean, you could even shove it in there whole, but the idea is chopping it a little bit gives it more surface space to infuse. But there's no need to be greedy and chop it to the point where you can't recognize the plant. Just have faith in the process that this plant knows how to release its healing into the oils. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of oil can I use? You can use whatever oil you want, for the most part. And I'm not going to tell you what oil I'm using, not because it's a secret, but because I want you to be like, well, I'm going to look at these oils up, and I'm going to decide which one I think will better fit my needs, and then you're more empowered because I made you learn something versus telling you to just copy me. So, that's your homework for today. Look into oils and what ones you think would go well with plantain. Or not, whichever. So, I'm actually killing time before I go pick my son up from a field trip he left for at 4 in the morning. So I figure, instead of just sitting there beating, maybe well, beating's productive, but you know what I mean. So we're going to fill this jar up, ideally to the top. You can compress it down a little bit if you want to. Just snip, snip, snip. And you know, you can never have too much plantain oil. I use it in all kinds of things. Sometimes you can just, I've shoved it in the jar before and just reached down in there and snipped it, you know, if you're being a little lazy. But there's no real wrong way to do it. So we're going to fill this jar all the way to the top. That's probably good enough. You're going to take whatever oil you choose. Oh, I forgot to get a lid. It'd be a magic trick if I forgot to get a jar and was somehow still doing this. I forgot to get a lid. So pretend I have a lid. It'll be imagination time. So we're going to fill this all the way up. As far as you can. Even a little bit of leaking is fine. So you're going to fill this up with your oil of choice. You're going to cap it after a few minutes. See all those air bubbles coming up? I don't know if you can or not. But you want those air bubbles to come out. We want all the air to come out of here as possible. I also should have grabbed like a butter knife or something, because you could stick it down in there. It's like if you've ever done like canning before, how you have to like push down in there and get all the bubbles out. When you get all that air out, it prevents oxidation, and it also helps prevent molding. Now, what you want to do is cap this and sit it in a cool, dark place for 6 to 8 weeks. If you live somewhere where it's really hot and you don't have good AC or something, stick it in your fridge for about 10 to 11 weeks, and then you don't have to worry about it molding. Now, if you get just a mold layer on the top, which can happen when you're working with somewhat fresh plant matter, you can just take that layer off, and if it hasn't penetrated through, it's fine, but then you need to stick it in the fridge for sure. But I'm not really worried about that happening with this. I've got a cool dark cupboard that I put all of my my infusions that have fresh plant matter in them. You can do the same thing with dry plant matter too, but you want to let those go for a couple months or more, so they'll be strong enough. And unlike with tinctures and teas and stuff, I don't mind doing combinations in my infusions. Make sure you know your herbs and what you're working with and if they work well together, all that kind of stuff. And then you can make any infusion you want this way. Seriously, that's all it takes. You guys know that I sell like tons of salves and stuff on my from my Etsy through my Instagram, and almost everything I made is made this way. Seriously, guys, it's just patience and trusting that the plant's going to release into there, and it's just simple. There's no reason to be intimidated by this stuff at all. So that's what we did. We made a plantain infusion. And I'll definitely hop on next time, maybe when I strain it out and make it into a salve or something. You know, I'll just, the next time my mind says, hey, you're doing this, maybe make a video, I won't hesitate and I'll just do it. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.